It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Sainsbury's. It's a contract brewed lager for them. It comes in a 4-pack, £2.62 for 4 cans. It is only 3.4% ABV. It's contract brewed by Carlsberg in Northampton, according to people on Untapped. There's a look at the can. It's been out the fridge about 10-15 minutes. I don't like to drink even a cheap lager like this. I don't like to drink it freezing cold. I think it just takes something away from the initial flavour of the beer. Brewed for a crisp, clean taste. There's hops on the front. Crown lager. Sainsbury's for me, sort of slightly upper class supermarket. I think people of slightly upper class, your sort of Waitrose, your Marks and Spencer's sort of people. If I can, sorry if I'm chucking you all in a basket here, but generally kind of like associate with the royal family and that sort of thing. And I can see why they called it this beer, Crown Lager. 440 milliliter can. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. I'm trying to work out the maths on this. Is it 53 pence a can? 53 pence a can as far as my maths go. Hold on a minute. Isn't Carlsberg 3.4% ABV anyway? Is this just Carlsberg in a different branded can? Could well be, you know. It's just clicked. Perhaps I should have got a can of Carlsberg. I have seen bottles of Carlsberg with a screw-off top for £1 a bottle recently in Tesco, and I'm sure that's only 3.4% for that £1 a bottle. Perhaps I'll save a couple more of these cans and pick up, next time I'm in Tesco, pick up a bottle of that cheap Carlsberg for £1, and just to see, you know, is it the same beer? Carbonation rising up the side of the glass. The head's dissipated quite quickly, even though we've got some etching here in the bottom of the glass. It's a slightly kind of bit of chill haze on the glass. It's amber straw coloured aroma. It's very difficult to get an aroma on a beer like this because it's brewed to absolute kind of cost, absolute kind of as cheap as you can possibly brew it. There's no real malt aroma coming through here. There's no big punching malt biscuity notes. It's more a corn or a rice. It's not really giving off much of a hoppiness either, just this slightly weird peppery spiciness. And musty, very musty. Let's dive in. Cheers everybody. Highly carbonated, like putting a glass of lemonade in your mouth. As carbonated as a lemonade. And then really not much else to grasp at. There's not much else to really go with here. I I can imagine the small amount of this stuff that they sell, the people who actually buy it, I can understand. Some people don't really like the taste of beer. Some people would prefer just to taste nothing when they're kind of tasting beer. And I think this is what this beer, or where it's aimed at. It's aimed at the not much going on. Very, I suppose very, I was about to call it watery, but it's 3.4% ABV. It's best to call it refreshing. It's quite refreshing. It's interesting though, I was out last night and I was having a conversation with the barman where I drink, and he's very much in this camp. He was telling me how much he enjoys a pint of Carling. And years ago I probably would have kind of like tried to talk him into drinking something a little bit better. But I've passed that now. I've passed that, not enthusiasm, I'm enthusiastic as ever about beer. I've just learned not to put people's noses out of joint. If that man enjoys a pint of Carling, that man enjoys a pint of Carling. That's only 3.6, is it? 3.7% ABV. So we were talking about Madri and how I feel Madri is the Carling, the original recipe of Carling from perhaps between the 1960s and the 1980s. And that if he was to have a pint of Madri, which he also enjoys, he would be drinking the original recipe for Carling back in the day. But then we quickly went back to the fact that he likes to drink Carling because there's just not much to it. There just isn't much to it. And that's the point. That's the reason why I brought it up. Some people don't want a smack full of hops in the mouth. Some people don't want lots of malt flavour. Some people don't even want to understand what they're drinking. Some people don't want to know. Some people don't want to know if it's malt or if it's rice or if it's maize or if it's a certain hop. Some people just want a light alcoholic lager to drink, and this is exactly what this is. It's not for me. It's not for me. I'm going to struggle to drink the other 3 cans. It's just way too bland for me. I like to taste flavour. I like to push the boundaries of my palate. This just isn't doing it for me. Ooh, there's more in the can. So I'm going to rate this. Pouring the beer from the can into the glass. It's not really created any kind of head whatsoever. It's 52 pence a can. It's cheap and cheerful. It's probably been brewed to keep up with Lidl's cheap beer offering or Aldi's cheap beer offering, Tesco Value Lager that they used to brew back in the day. I think they've changed that to Depot now. Tesco Depot Lager or something. They've got rid of the value. It sits in that market. If you enjoy Sainsbury's original Crown Lager, then I'm not going to judge you. But my rating for this, my rating is, it's like a very poor 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 from Reload Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.